Men over 60. Why these three vitamins boost vitality, prostate health, and better sleep. Gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you noticed your energy fading, your nights becoming restless, or those frustrating trips to the bathroom breaking your sleep? Many men over 60 believe it's just aging, but what if I told you the truth is far simpler and far more fixable? I've spent over 30 years sitting across from men just like you.
Good men.
Hardworking men. Men who built families, careers, and communities. And what I discovered is this. Much of the fatigue, the poor sleep, even prostate discomfort comes down to a silent deficiency in just 3 vitamins. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why these 3 vitamins can restore your vitality, improve prostate health, and help you sleep better at night. And stay with me, because I'll also reveal the #1 mistake most older men make when taking these vitamins, and how to avoid it starting tonight. Vitamin D, the circulation spark plug. Gentlemen over 60, listen carefully. One of the most overlooked keys to your vitality, prostate health, and quality of sleep is vitamin D. This is not just about strong bones. It is the circulation spark plug of your body. Without it, the engine of your manhood sputters, your energy fades, and your nights become restless. According to the National Institutes of Health, more than 40% of older adults in America are deficient in vitamin D, NIH, 2018. That means nearly half of men in your age group are unknowingly living with a handicap that makes intimacy difficult, drains energy, and weakens the very system that protects your prostate. Let me tell you a story from Dallas, Texas. Paul, 67, a retired construction manager, sat across from me with his shoulders slumped. "Doc," he said quietly, "I still want to be close to my wife, but my body just won't cooperate." It wasn't about desire. His heart and mind wanted it, but his body failed him. Paul wasn't careless. He walked his dog daily. He ate reasonably well, but he avoided the sun. And he lived with fatigue, shallow sleep, and a fading confidence. When we tested his vitamin D levels, they were dramatically low. Once he began a simple regimen, 15 minutes of morning sunlight, a serving of salmon twice a week, fortified milk, and a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement, everything changed. Within weeks, his circulation improved, his nights grew deeper and more restful, and his wife noticed the spark had returned. It wasn't a miracle. It was biology. Vitamin D stimulates the production of nitric oxide, a molecule essential for dilating blood vessels, enhancing circulation, and even supporting prostate tissue. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2011. Without it, blood flow weakens, oxygen delivery decreases, and the systems tied to male vitality suffer silently. The shock is this. Many men believe their problems are inevitable signs of aging. But in truth, it's often something fixable. When Paul returned to my office months later, he stood taller. His handshake was firm, his energy noticeable, and he said with a grin, "Doc, I feel like I finally woke up." His story is not rare. It's repeated in countless towns across America where men spend more time indoors, behind screens, or under artificial lights. This is why I tell every man over 60, do not underestimate vitamin D. It is more than a nutrient. It is a signal to your body that you are alive, in motion, and connected to the natural rhythms that restore sleep, protect your prostate, and fuel your energy. Imagine spending years blaming age, when the truth is you've been running on half power because the spark plug was missing. So here's the turning point. If you wake up tired, if you feel drained, if intimacy feels more difficult than it used to, don't just shrug it off. Ask yourself, when was the last time you let the sun touch your skin? When was the last time you checked your vitamin D3 levels? The solution may not be a pill or a complicated treatment. Sometimes, it's as simple as stepping outside, lifting your face to the morning sun, and giving your body what it has been craving all along. And just as Paul discovered in Dallas, once circulation returns, once oxygen and energy begin to flow again, sleep deepens, vitality rises, and prostate health follows. It's not magic. It's the way your body was designed to function when it has what it needs. Now, if vitamin D is the spark plug that ignites circulation, there's another nutrient that acts as the ignition key, the one that turns food into real, usable energy for your body and brain. And without it, Even with sunlight and strong circulation, you'll still feel like you're running on empty. That's where we turn next, to a man from Cleveland, Ohio, and the story of 3. Vitamin B12, the energy generator. Vitamin B12, the energy generator. Gentlemen over 60, let me take you straight to Cleveland, Ohio. I once sat across from Robert, a 72-year-old retired firefighter who had lived through decades of danger, smoke, and long nights on the job. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "Doc, I'm doing everything right. I sleep 8 hours, I eat well, but every morning I wake up feeling like I never rested. My brain feels foggy. My body feels heavy. I feel like I'm dragging through the day." His words carried not just frustration, but fear. The fear that aging had stolen his spark for good. Yet what we found wasn't age. It was a simple, silent deficiency. Vitamin B12. Here's the truth. As men grow older, the stomach naturally produces less acid, and with lower acid comes lower absorption of vitamin B12. You could be eating steak, eggs, or fish, classic American staples, but still not absorbing what your body needs. According to Harvard Health Publishing, up to 20% of adults over 60 may have B12 deficiency, often unnoticed until fatigue, memory issues, or nerve problems surface. And the connection to prostate health is rarely talked about. Without B12, your red blood cells can't efficiently carry oxygen, starving tissues, including your prostate, of the fuel they need to function optimally. Think of B12 as the ignition key to your engine. Without it, you can pour in all the gasoline you want, food, sleep, even exercise, but the car won't start. Your body cannot turn food into usable energy. And when the engine doesn't start, everything slows down. Your brain, your muscles, your confidence, your intimacy, your very sense of manhood. Robert's turnaround was dramatic. We corrected his deficiency using methylcobalamin, the active form of B12 that the body can use immediately. Within weeks, he came back not slumped in his chair but standing tall, shaking my hand with strength I hadn't seen before. He said, "Doc, it's like I woke up again." His wife later told me his mood had lifted, his focus sharpened, and the nights that once felt like battles against exhaustion had finally become restful again. And Robert is not alone. In Phoenix, Arizona, I worked with a 69-year-old Vietnam veteran named Carl who thought he was facing early dementia. His family noticed he was forgetting names, misplacing his keys, even struggling to finish sentences. Yet when we treated his B12 deficiency, the fog began to lift. He told me, with tears in his eyes, "I thought I was losing myself, but it turns out I was just low on B12. That's the hidden power of this vitamin. It doesn't just keep your body moving. It keeps your mind sharp and your identity intact." Gentlemen, don't underestimate this. When fatigue feels overwhelming, when concentration slips, when you think age has tied weights to your ankles, often it's not aging, it's the body pleading for B12. And the fix is both simple and life-changing. Choose foods rich in B12, test your levels, and when needed, use a quality supplement in the right form. Just like turning the key in a car, the spark returns almost instantly once the right connection is made. And here is where the story takes another turn. If vitamin D is the spark plug and vitamin B12 is the ignition key, then the next nutrient is the protective armor, shielding your masculinity, stabilizing your testosterone, and keeping your vitality from being stolen by oxidative stress. This is the vitamin that men often overlook, but when restored, it can reignite not just energy, but passion itself. That brings us to 4. Vitamin E, the fertility defender. Vitamin E, the fertility defender. Gentlemen, let me tell you about James, a 70-year-old retired pilot from Tampa, Florida. For decades, James lived with discipline. Early mornings, a fit body, a sharp mind. He told me, "Doc, I've always been the one in control, the one others rely on. But lately, I feel like something's slipped away. My energy is fading, my drive is gone, and I just don't feel like a man anymore." His words weren't about vanity. They were about identity. For men over 60, the gradual decline in vitality isn't just physical. It cuts to the core of who you believe yourself to be. The surprising culprit? A deficiency in vitamin E. Too often, we reduce vitamin E to that skin vitamin, but the truth is far deeper. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that protects your blood vessels from oxidative stress, reduces chronic inflammation, and plays a critical role in helping your body produce testosterone efficiently. And without sufficient testosterone, circulation weakens, energy diminishes, confidence drops, and even sleep becomes restless because your body is under constant stress. Here's the shocking part. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, 2013, found that men with adequate vitamin E levels maintained healthier testosterone production and reported significantly better sleep quality compared to those who were deficient. It's not simply about preventing wrinkles, it's about protecting the very hormone that fuels male vitality. When James began adding simple, natural sources of vitamin E into his daily routine, almonds in his breakfast, sunflower seeds as an afternoon snack, and a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on his salad, his transformation was almost immediate. Within weeks, he noticed his stamina improving on his morning walks along Bayshore Boulevard, his mood lifting during family dinners, and his confidence returning in ways that surprised even him. He looked at me one day and said, "Doc, I feel like myself again. I didn't realize how much I had lost until it came back." And here's something personal I want you to hear. So many men think this decline is permanent. They assume once testosterone dips, once energy fades, once intimacy feels like a memory, it's gone for good. But James's story proves otherwise. Vitamin E is not a miracle pill, but it is a missing puzzle piece, a defender of fertility and vigor that works silently in the background to restore what age and stress quietly erode. So, men over 60, ask yourself, are you giving your body the raw materials it needs to keep being the man you've always been? Because when you do, the ripple effect goes far beyond energy. It touches sleep, mood, circulation, and yes, the confidence to feel fully alive again. Now stay with me because what you've seen so far, vitamin D as the spark plug, B12 as the ignition key, and vitamin E as the defender, sets the stage for a powerful truth. The real magic doesn't happen when you use them in isolation. It happens when they work together, forming a triangle of vitality that strengthens your body in ways most men never expect. Why these three vitamins work better together? Gentlemen, here's the truth. While each vitamin has its own powerful role, the real breakthrough happens when they work together. I call it the vitality triangle. Imagine 3 gears in an engine. If one spins, the machine moves, but when all 3 interlock, the engine roars. That's exactly what happens when vitamin D, vitamin B12, and vitamin E operate in harmony. Vitamin D sparks circulation, opening blood vessels like a wide highway. Vitamin B12 fuels the ignition, turning the food you eat into the very energy that drives your muscles, brain, and yes, your prostate. And vitamin E, the silent defender, protects your testosterone and blood vessels from the wear and tear of time. Alone, they help. Together, they transform. Let me tell you about Walter, a 68-year-old retired high school football coach from Columbus, Ohio. Walter had been disciplined his entire life. Early practices, late-night game reviews, pushing his players to give their all. But after retirement, he admitted to me, "Doc, I still have the heart of a coach, but my body can't keep up. I've got ideas, passion, but no stamina." For months, he had been taking vitamin D because he heard it was good for bones. He noticed some improvement, but the fatigue lingered. When he added B12, he felt the fog lift a little more. But it wasn't until he completed the triangle by adding vitamin E that everything changed. He walked into my office one spring morning, his face lit up like a man who had just won a championship. He slapped the table and said, "Doc, I feel like I've got a brand new engine inside me." That's not just enthusiasm, it's physiology. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2017, highlighted that older adults who combined multiple essential vitamins saw up to a 30% improvement in overall vitality markers compared to those who took them in isolation.
Why?
Because your body doesn't work in silos. Circulation, energy production, and hormone balance are interconnected systems. When one improves, the others rise with it. But when all 3 are supported, the effect is exponential. And here's something most men over 60 don't realize. Your body is constantly fighting oxidative stress, nutrient malabsorption, and hormonal decline. Tackling one problem at a time is like patching a leaky roof while the foundation crumbles. But when you address circulation, energy, and hormone defense together, you're rebuilding the house from the ground up. That's why Walter felt like a new man, because for the first time in years, all three systems were working as one. So if you're listening right now, ask yourself, are you settling for half measures, or are you ready to experience the synergy of the vitality triangle? Because when you do, the results are not subtle, they're life-changing. Walter's story isn't rare. It's a roadmap. And in just a moment, I'll show you the biggest mistake men make that sabotages this progress, a mistake that could silently undo everything you've been working for. The number one mistake most men make. Here's the turning point where so many men over 60 stumble, and it's not because they lack discipline or motivation. It's because they've been misled by convenience. Gerald, a 74-year-old retired machinist from Pittsburgh, walked into my office carrying a grocery bag filled with bargain supplements from a chain discount store. He looked at me with frustration and said, "Doc, I've been swallowing all of these for months, but nothing's changing. I still wake up tired, I still toss and turn at night, and I still don't feel like myself." The mistake wasn't that Gerald wasn't trying. His mistake was quality and consistency. He had unknowingly picked vitamin D2 instead of the active and more effective vitamin D3. He bought the cheapest cyanocobalamin form of B12, which the aging body struggles to convert, instead of methylcobalamin, the form that works immediately at the cellular level. And for vitamin E, he grabbed a synthetic capsule with only alpha-tocopherol, instead of natural mixed tocopherols that the body actually recognizes. To make matters worse, he only took them when he remembered, sometimes skipping 2 or 3 days at a time. Gentlemen, supplements are not magic pills, they're tools. And like any tool, quality determines the outcome. Research from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, 2020, has shown that older adults who used bioavailable forms of vitamin D3 and B12 experienced significant improvements in sleep quality, circulation, and energy compared to those using synthetic or incomplete forms. But you won't hear that on a discount aisle label. When Gerald finally switched to high-quality forms, vitamin D3 with K2 for absorption, methylcobalamin B12, and natural mixed tocopherols, and committed to taking them daily, the change was nothing short of remarkable. Within weeks, he reported deeper sleep, steady energy through the day, and, with a grin on his face, told me, "Doc, I feel like a man again." That wasn't just a placebo effect. That was his body finally receiving the nourishment it had been craving all along. So here's the lesson. Don't let a $5 bottle rob you of $5,000 worth of vitality. If you're investing in your health after 60, invest wisely. Your body is too precious, your time too valuable, to gamble on shortcuts that don't work. Quality matters. Consistency matters. And the men who get this right are the ones who rebuild strength, reclaim intimacy, and restore the vitality they thought was gone forever. And in just a moment, I'll share a powerful bonus tip, an often overlooked nutrient strategy that can multiply the benefits of these 3 vitamins and give you an edge most men your age never discover. Gentlemen, before we close, let me give you one final bonus, something that turns knowledge into real results. Vitamins alone are powerful, but when you pair them with the right foods, they become unstoppable. Think of it like this. The vitamin is the key, but food is the ignition that starts the engine. When you pair vitamin D3 with salmon or sardines, the healthy fats act as a delivery truck, carrying the nutrient deeper into your bloodstream. When you enjoy eggs or lean beef with B12, the protein matrix helps absorption so your energy production doesn't stall halfway. And when you add almonds, sunflower seeds, or olive oil to boost vitamin E, you're not just nourishing your cells, you're protecting your testosterone and circulation at the same time. That's synergy in its purest form. I saw this firsthand with Frank, a 66-year-old retired carpenter from Des Moines, Iowa. He had been taking supplements, but results were slow. When I suggested he start preparing a simple breakfast, scrambled eggs with spinach for B12, salmon on the weekends for vitamin D, and a handful of almonds in the afternoon for vitamin E, his entire routine shifted. Within 2 months, he wasn't just telling me he felt better. His wife told me she had her husband back. Doc, Frank said, it's not just about sleep or energy anymore. I feel alive again. And here's the bigger truth. It's not too late. Not even close. Whether you're in Dallas, Cleveland, Miami, or a small town in the Midwest, I've seen thousands of men over 60 reclaim vitality they thought was gone forever. These vitamins don't just support prostate health, energy, and sleep, they restore something deeper. Your confidence, your relationships, and your identity as a man. Research published in the Journal of Gerontology, 2019, found that older adults who combined targeted nutrition with consistent routines reported a 25% higher quality of life score. That's not just statistics, that's lived experience, and I've watched it unfold in real people's lives. So my message to you is simple. You still have time. You still have time to wake up rested instead of dragging. You still have time to feel strong instead of fragile. You still have time to sit across from the people you love, knowing you have the energy to be fully present. Don't let another year slip away. Build these vitamins into your daily rhythm, pair them with real foods, and make the choice today. If this video spoke to you, subscribe for more science-backed tips designed for men over 60, share it with a friend who might be struggling, and leave a comment below telling me which vitamin you'll begin with. Your story might be the spark that helps another man reclaim his vitality. And if you've made it this far, stay tuned, because in the next video, I'll reveal a simple morning coffee hack that men over 60 are using to improve prostate health, unlock steady energy, and even restore confidence in ways that surprise their doctors.